Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday, the 2nd of April 2022. And it was a match day, and what can you say? It was a mixed bag, really. Let's just jump into the match report from newsitdown.co.uk. Luton Town 2, Millwall 2. Millwall were twice pegged back as they were forced to settle for a 2-2 draw against Luton Town at Kenilworth Road on Saturday. Tom Bradshaw scored on his return to the side before his effort was cancelled out by Elijah Adebayo. Benicophobe restored the Lions' lead with 9 minutes to go, but they were denied all 3 points as Jake Cooper headed into his own net from a Robert Snodgrass free kick in the 87th minute. Mill started on the front foot. Jed Wallace fired in a dangerous looking cross into the box, which Hatters keeper James Shea was forced to punch away. The Lions took the lead in the 25th minute. Bradshaw, marking his return to the starting 11, fired home on the half volley from Wallace's pass, rewarding his side for the excellent start. However, that lead lasted less than 10 minutes as on 33 minutes Luton levelled. Adebayo broke into the box and his curling effort went in off the far post to bring the host back on terms. Wallace's fizzing crosses into the box were causing issues but not falling to any of his teammates. In the first half stoppage time, he fired a free kick over the bar. The hosts had a great chance to take the lead in the 49th minute. Harry Cornick, who hit a brace when the sides met at the Dennis in October, had the beating of Cooper, but was denied by Bartosz Białkowski. Bradshaw was then denied by good Luton defending as he set up his shot. Henry Lansbury made a superb block. As the game entered the final 10 minutes, Millwall regained their lead. Substitute Oliver Burke's run and cross found a phobia in the box, and he finished a low past Shea. But just 6 minutes later, Luton were level again. Cooper, unfortunately, with his second own goal this season after finding his own net at Derby. The result leaves the Lions 4 points off the top 6 with 7 games to play. Takeaways: Bradshaw makes a scoring return to the starting 11, while Duo also make comebacks. Millwall missed Bradshaw. The Welshman was in such a good run of form before his injury, with 7 goals in 11 games. Although the Lions coped pretty well during his absence, his return was welcomed and he made sure Luton knew he was back. His finishing was clinical, something the Lions have missed during this recent run, and something they will need during the remainder of the running. He looked sharp for the most part, and getting his 8th goal of the season will only have boosted his confidence. Not only that was his 100th career goal. Apparently he was also on 99 goals, so that was his 100th professional goal in his career. Burke and George Evans were back on the bench after the defeat at Stoke. Lions boss Gary Rowett said that he was confident he would see more options return after the international break. Burke was also one that showed some promise before his injury. The running should allow him to show off his abilities, some of which were seen with Mill's second goal. His pace and power will hopefully be valuable in the near future. Yes, indeed, that was a very good substitution by Gary Rowett to bring him on because he had an impact. He ran at them when they were trying to come forward, and we got him behind them and got the goal, so that was fantastic. The Lions show firm defensive resolve again. The core element behind Mill's 8-game unbeaten run before the international break was defensive solidity and resolve. They showed both again at Kenilworth Road. They were under the cosh for long periods, especially in the second half. The hosts were being roared on by their fans, and they threatened to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. The back three of Cooper, Murray, Wallace and Danny Ballard stood up winning mad. This was summed up just after Afobe's goal. Former Mill man Fred Onyedinma fired one towards the top corner, but Cooper was there to head it off the line. Unfortunately, Cooper's own goal denied the Lions an extra 2 points, and whether, regardless of where Mill will end the season, the effort and desire of their defence cannot be questioned. Can it be questioned? Well, I'm going to question it now. So the second goal was basically a carbon copy of Stokes' second goal as well. Free kick on our left flank, middle of our area on our left flank. An outswinger coming into the 6-yard box, between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. And yeah, same result. Against Stoke, it was Saville who headed into his own goal, and in this game, it was Jake Cooper kind of hit his shoulder and winning. But exact same set piece in exact same location, 2 games running, you've got to ask questions. I mean, now it was just beyond the 6-yard box. And no Luton players were forward of that. They weren't advancing. It was Millwall were holding the line. What can you say? Well, should the keeper have come out for that? He had the protection of the Millwall line. I don't know. Could he have come? He could have come for it. I don't know why he doesn't come for those. Sometimes he does, very rarely, but it's not really his style to come and jump up and challenge aerial duels. But we're living in the modern age. If he jumps up with someone and gets he can get a little knock and he goes down, and the whistle goes. Free kick for Millwall. That protected species now, so I don't know why. Like, that's two games. Like I said, 2 games in a row, the exact same free kick, and you've got to think: is that going forward? Is that going to be a problem now? Because surely, we play Swansea on Tuesday, play Barnsley next week. If they're looking at the video, even if they look at just the goals scored against us in the matches, they're going to say, "Oh, that's basically the same thing, 2 games running." That's interesting. They can't defend from that, from an outswinger that swings towards the goal and comes back towards near the penalty spot. They can't. They struggle with that. They've conceded twice from that in 2 games. So the defense cannot be questioned. I don't know about that. You can't concede set pieces like that. The same set piece 2 games in a row. Like, what are we doing here? A draw is not the end of the world in playoff chase. Most Millwall fans would have accepted a draw before kickoff. I thought it was going to be a draw, but this was a must-win game. I'll show you later why it was a must-win game. So there will be an initial disappointment. Tuesday's clash with Swansea is now a huge game. Failure to win that and you feel the run to get into that picture will be complicated. There were big positives come out of this game. Bradshaw and Afobe both getting back on the score sheet. No ground conceded in the race for top 6. Scoring 2 goals away from home against a team that is they were 3rd in the table, going away with our shit away form, scoring 2, good. Just couldn't keep them out, that's the kind of style they do. They are very direct. They're not game management. Let's shut up shop. Let's keep a clean sheet. Luton don't really keep clean sheets. It's not their thing. That kind of you score 2, we'll score 3. That kind of play. They just go at you. Very direct and especially long ball. But Bradshaw and Afobe both getting their 100th career goals. Absolutely fantastic. You couldn't ask for more. And to tell you the truth, when Afobe scored, I genuinely thought that was it. I didn't have any nerves after that. I didn't think, oh no, we need to defend now. I thought, oh, we're going to win the game now. It didn't even cross my mind that we would concede. I thought, okay, that's it. We've won this now. They done it. They fucking done it. Afobe's done it. And then they score, and it is what it is. Now, substitution was made late on. Jed was for Kieftenbeld, but that was after the goal. They scored their goal. You think, maybe could we have done that before? Would it have made a difference? I don't know. As soon as you score that second goal, do you go, okay, boom, shut up the shop? Because when the goal went in, it was like 81 minutes. I was listening on iFollow, and I looked at my phone, and it said 84 minutes. So I'm like, okay, we got 10 minutes left. Okay. So there's still 10 minutes in the game. Do you immediately make that change? Would it have made a difference? I don't know. So here is the team. There was 2 changes from the defeat at Stoke. Bradshaw returned along with Afobe. Tyler Berry was on the bench. Mason Bennett missed out due to injury. It was Biakowski, McNamara, Ballard, Cooper, Murray Wallace, Malone, Mitchell, Saville, Jed Wallace, Bradshaw and Afobe. And the subs were Keith Bell in the 90th minute and Burke for Bradshaw on the 71st minute. The unused substitutes were Long, Pearce, Evans, Ojo and Bury. So there you have it. Yeah, mixed bag going forward. Absolutely fantastic. We seem to have a decent strike force in Afobe and Bradshaw. Whatever they're working on is working. It's with Jed Wallace in there. Don't forget Jed Wallace. So you've got to think, come the summer, that all gets flipped around. Jed Wallace leaves, Afobe goes back to Stoke. Probably can't afford to sign him. Then we've got Bradshaw, and who else have we got? So it's going to be all change at Millwall, and is that good or bad? We just kind of got into the groove now. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So we're moving on to comments from Gary Rowett. He doesn't seem to be happy, and I can see why. LondonNewsOnline.co.uk. I couldn't say the performance deserves us to easily win the game. Millwall reaction after 2-2 draw at Luton Town. Gary Rowett reckoned Millwall should have seen the match out at Luton after the South London scored their second goal in the 83rd minute. Tom Bradshaw opened the scoring before Elijah Adebayo levelled. Benik Afobe restored the South London club lead, but an unfortunate Jay Cooper own goal gave the Hatters a point with 3 minutes remaining. Rowett said, if you take the game in its entirety in terms of pressure, we had the better first half. We were excellent first half. They put us under the cosh a little bit in the second half. I couldn't stand here and say the performance deserved us to easily win the game, but when you get to 86 minutes and you're a team like us, you have to see a set piece out to probably win the game. Yes, we could get a bit more fortune. Cameron Jerome doesn't hit it properly. He hits Jay Cooper on the shoulder and ends up in the back of the net, which seems to be a bit symptomatic of our fortune at the moment. At 86 minutes, I expect us to win the game. At this stage of the season, with 7 games left, you don't get another bite of the cherry. That was the disappointment. It's another good result, but it's also a disappointing result for us, which shows the level of efforts. We have 2 home games now, which we have to go and be positive about. 2 very good goals. The first one was a little bit about how we set up. Luton are a side that want the ball to be in front of them. We worked very hard in turning them around and playing into space between the centre backs and wing backs. We kept Jed narrow, so he was always there to pick up loose balls. He picked the ball up, and Bradders hit the ball early, which deceives the keeper. He hits it very well. As disappointing as the first goal was, there is a foul in the build-up on Tom Bradshaw. I'd expect the referee to give that. We've got to then defend it better. We then score a very good second goal and have some very good chances after that. We knew later in the game Berkey's pace getting into those areas, and it was a great cross, left foot, full speed, picks out Benik, and again good scoring form, and he makes it look easy. Yeah, just want to mention Luton's first goal. So again with Jake Cooper, I don't want to dig him out, single out, but I'll make him a boo boy because I don't think that would be fair. But watching it back, you see Danny Ballard there, marking the goal, going forward, marking the goal scorer, but there's someone in front of him on the ball. I think it's Amari Bell or whatever his name is. And then you see Jake Cooper come forward, and as Jake Cooper comes forward, the geezer on the ball plays it behind Ballard because there's space there now because Jake Cooper's come forward, and Adebayo just shrugs off Ballard, goes through, boom. So if Cooper hadn't have gone forward, because you just, I don't know, you watch it, but I'm not really explaining it well. If you watch it, you'll see what I understand. And Ballard's kind of dealing with the situation, and then Cooper kind of goes towards the guy with the ball, but doesn't really do anything. He just stands there, and then that lets him, guy with the ball, just play it behind both Ballard and Cooper and send Adebayo on his way, and the rest is history. So you would think Cooper either just don't rush in, just stand back and close down the space in case the guy on the ball shoots. So just stand there and wait for him to either shoot or pass it. And if he passes it, you're there to intercept into the space. And if he shoots, you're there to block it. Get a ball in the chest or something. Just knock it back. So I would say that disappointed to have worked so hard to get into that position. I'm not saying we threw it away, because that wouldn't be fair on Luton or our players. These moments you have to see out if you want to win games. Yeah. And literally, when that second goal went in, it never crossed my mind that we would concede. I thought, yes, we fucking done it. We did it. We've done it. Because our defence is the shit. It's what's doing well this season, and for them to concede basically the same goal two games running, free kick from the opposition's right hand side, outswinger, coming in towards the goal and then coming back towards the penalty spot, and for both of them to be own goals as well. Saville against Stoke and Cooper against Luton. It's like, that's just weird. So moving on now to this from the Luton Town manager, and of course he's happy. Luton Town boss happy to keep the points gap to Millwall the same after 2-2 draw. Exactly. The status quo remains. They are above us and we are below them by some margin. Luton Town manager Nathan Jones was happy to keep a 6-point lead over Millwall as the two championship sides scraped out 2-2 draw at Kenilworth Road. The Lions took the lead in each half. Yeah, we've all heard all about that. Luton dropped to 4th in the league table with Millwall 10, 4 points behind Blackburn, but with a fixture in hand, the South Londoners are at home to Swansea City on Tuesday. Jones said, actually, we played better against QPR, a 2-1 loss, than we did against these. We were probably robbed against QPR because I never felt at any point that they were really in control. This was a tough game. The first half they probably shaded it and were better than us at doing the basics. In the second half we were excellent. We came out and had a glorious opportunity early on for Harry Cornick. It was a game of margins. To be fair, it is a good point. If we had lost the game, they would have been 3 points closer to us. It was important we didn't lose today. Some have lost, some have drawn, and some have won. It just keeps us going. 1 game down, 7 to go. I'm really delighted with the application. Second half it was more us and we were the better team. It was probably a fair result based on everything because they led twice. They'll be disappointed they didn't see the game out. It was an own goal that levelled the match late on. I don't care who got it. It was what we deserved. We've got great character. With 7 games to go, we are right in the mix. If you're going to beat Millwall, you have got to be physical, because Millwall are a physical side and they do the basics right. They have to, because it's a prerequisite for playing for the club. Overall, it was a fair result. 2 sides really trying to win it. We have a never say die attitude, and even when we score, we go and get the ball because we believed we could try and win it. In the first half, we didn't win the first ball, and then we didn't give ourselves the platform to go and win it. So there you go, that's Nathan Jones there. I don't know if he sounds like that, but yeah, I'll tell you why they were happy to maintain that 6 points in a minute. We're going to talk about this first. but I'll tell you about that later. So Mill manager on Swansea and Barnsley after Swan's historic win over Steve Morrison's Cardiff. Yeah, Swansea had a decent result today. Mill boss Garrett has given his thoughts on 2 home games in a week in the playoff race. The Lions face Swansea City on Tuesday and then Barnsley on Saturday. The Swans thumped Steve Morrison's Cardiff City 4-0 away today on Saturday. The first time a team had completed a league double in the history of the South Wales derby. The Tykes drew 1-1 at home against Reading. Barnsley are in the last relegation spot and trailed the Royals in 21st by 5 points. Rat was asked about the approach to next week after his team's 2-2 draw at Luton Town. Exactly the same as I assess every home game we've had, whether it's been Huddersfield, whether it's been QPR, whether it's been Birmingham, whoever it's been. Rat said, they're very difficult games, but if we turn up and perform with the same energy and the same drive as we have done at home this season, where our form's been excellent, we give ourselves a chance of winning the game. Different games. Swansea are a good side. They move the ball. I haven't seen the game, but they beat Cardiff 4-0 away from home. I'm sure that'll give them a little bit of confidence because their away form hasn't been that brilliant. They're the sort of side that if they get it moving and start to click, they're a very, very difficult side to win the ball back off. But we have to find a solution and we have to try and win the game. We've got 2 big home games. It's up to us, isn't it? It's up to us to try and go and win the games. We'll certainly work hard and enjoy the opportunity. It's an exciting time. We're in as good as a position as I think the club's been in the Championship at this stage of the season. So let's see if we can take the next step and win the next game to take us into the one afterwards. Yes, we win the next game. Let's forget about today's game. We go again. We go again. Swansea, Tuesday, 7:45. We go again. So now let's have a look at the results today. So Nottingham Forest 1-4-1 away at Blackpool. Swansea, our next opponents, not really in the end of season tournament race, but they beat Cardiff 4-0. Blackburn Rovers drew 2-2 away at Coventry City, and Middlesbrough won 4-0 away at Peterborough United. So that's good for their goal difference, which is not good for us. Queen's Park Rangers are lost obviously at home to Fulham 2-0. And Sheffield United, who have the advantage of having 5 extra home games more than any other team in the race for the end of season tournament places, actually lost away at Stoke City on 1-0. So what does that leave the table as? We are 10th on 58 points. Now this is what I wanted to mention, right? So it's Nottingham Forest. They've got 3 games in hand on Blackburn and Huddersfield, but 2 games in hand on most other teams. So let's say 2 games in hand. So we are not chasing Blackburn Rovers. Why are we not chasing Blackburn Rovers? Because they're not going to be there. So let's say Nottingham Forest, those 2 games in hand, at least 2 games in hand. So what's that going to be? 2 wins? 2 wins is 6 points. A win and a draw, 4 points. A win and a loss, 3 points. What are they most likely to get? Well, to be honest, they're probably most likely to get either 4 points or 3 points. So that moves, let's say it's 4 points. That moves them up into 4th. And that moves everyone else down. So that is why it was so important today for us to close the gap on Luton, because we're chasing Luton, we're chasing Middlesbrough, we're not chasing Blackburn Rovers, and we're not chasing Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, once they get those games in hand played and get those points on the board, they are going to be either 3rd or 4th. We're not chasing them, because that's going to knock everyone else down. We're chasing Luton, we're chasing Middlesbrough, we're not really chasing Blackburn, because they're going to be out of it, they're going to be out of the zone, and we've got a game in hand on them anyway. So that's why it was so important to win that game today. It's just an absolute rotten shame that we didn't. It was a draw. I said it was going to be 1-1 before the game. We've had the last 3 games in the league have been 1-1. So this is 4-1-1s at Kenneth. Well, the last 3 games away at Luton in the league have been 1-1. This is the 4th trip in a row that we've been to Luton and it's been a draw. Yeah, it was just a shame that we couldn't hold on and finish with that win, because we're not chasing Nottingham Forest, we're not chasing Blackburn Rovers, we're chasing Middlesbrough and we're chasing Luton Town. That's who we're chasing. Literally those 2 teams, probably Sheffield United as well, they're in the mix. And QPR in absolute freefall. Yeah, when we played them, they were absolute fucking dog shit. The only win they've had has been that win away at Luton. And you can see they've had in the last 5 games 4 defeats, 1 win. It's all falling apart for them. Yeah, but we go to Swansea, so I'll have to scroll down to go to Swansea. They've just gone on a little run of form now. The last 5 games, they lost 2, and then since then they won, drawn and won, including that massive derby win against Cardiff City, 4-0. So they're clearly not on the beach. They are. Well, that was a derby game, so I don't know, but it seems they're still trying, still a bit motivated, and still putting in a shift. So it won't be an easy game, but it's at home. It's Millwall. Hopefully there's going to be a big crowd there. I'm getting my ticket probably tomorrow. Yeah, let's get everyone down there and let's make some fucking noise and see what happens. But yeah, that's where we are. We're 10th, but even if we'd got the extra 2 points, you can see we would have only been 9th. There's still a gap between just getting up to outside of the places, let alone getting into the places. And like I said, if we just give Nottingham Forest the points from their games in hand now, they'll be 3rd or 4th. We were chasing Luton, and we're chasing Middlesbrough, and we're chasing Sheffield United. That's who we're chasing. And if we would have won that game today, oh my god, it would have been on like Donkey Kong. But what can you do? What can you do? Dream isn't over yet. If we would have lost that game, I think I've mentioned in a previous video, it would have been busted. I think we would have been done and dusted. But yeah, we go on to Swansea now. If we can win that game, because if we go back and see, so not everyone is playing in midweek. So we're obviously at home to Swansea. Luton are away to Peterborough. Now that's kind of a bit of a derby as well, I think, but Peterborough are so bad, so bad. But if you think with the bit of a local rivalry there, maybe it will G them up. I don't know. Maybe they can do something against Luton. Sheffield United are playing QPR. They've got to play them twice between now and the end of the season, so QPR are absolute dog shit. Can they do anything at Sheffield United? Don't know, but there you go. And then the day after, Middlesbrough Fulham. Oh, thank fuck for that, because you want someone to smack Middlesbrough to give us a chance to catch up to them, because that's who we're trying to catch. So hopefully Fulham can do it, but wouldn't surprise me for Middlesbrough to do something. That's a long way up there. And these Fulham stars, will they appreciate it? I mean, it's going to be fucking freezing up there. Is it still going to be freezing there up there in a couple of days? I don't know. And then Forest play Coventry City. Now Coventry City equalised late against Blackburn Rovers, so kind of put the kibosh on their hopes. Can they do the same against Nottingham Forest? Now it's kind of a sort of a Midlands derby, but not really. It's West Midlands, East Midlands. I doubt they talk about each other that much. But still, hopefully someone can just slow Nottingham Forest down, because they seem to be on a steamroll. They seem to be the informed team. going into the end of the season. So we shall see what happens in midweek. Before we finish the video, I'm just going to bring you this story that was published this morning. This is from newsend.co.uk. Millwall under 23 manager hopeful attacker's injury is not serious, plus praise for senior duo. Millwall professional development boss Kevin Nugent is hopeful Zach Lovelace's injury is not too serious after the forward went off in a 1-0 win over Peterborough United on Friday. Lovelace was forced off in the 42nd minute, with his replacement Sean O'Brien scoring the only goal in the 60th minute. As far as I know, I've not really seen too much. I think it's just a dead leg, hopefully, Nugent said on Mill's recast. I don't think it's anything too serious, but we'll wait and see. Ryan Leonard played the full game on his return from injury, and Conor Mahoney also played 90 minutes. Nugent added, "It was fantastic having them in the side. When the first team lads come down with us there has never been one occasion where they haven't put everything into it as well. It was really good from them today, and really good to get them some minutes as well." So there you go. And we're going to end on that note. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.